In this video, we are discussing how the NFT market is crashing and whether this is the end. As usual, nothing in this video is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. The NFT space is incredibly risky, so always do your own research. And if you enjoy the daily NFT content, make sure that you hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, subscribe to the podcast on whatever platform you get your podcasts on, and buy our NFT. Gentlemen, yesterday was one of the worst days for NFT volume of the year, but also you have to go back to last year to even get that low of volume. What do you guys think of what's going on?
I like how every video we've done recently is like, the market is dead. The market implosion.
It is.
Market explosion.
Tomorrow's like title will be like looking for jobs. Like, you know, come listen to our resume and hire us if you want us. Yeah, I mean, 37 million, you probably got to go back to October, November, when we had the blow off top in late August or September. Was it September with Mutant Ape Yacht Club? And then we had a pretty big retrace October or November. And I think that that's when like we probably saw 30 million again. So it's pretty much like a 6-month low. So like you can't really sugarcoat that in any way, shape, or form. You do have to caveat by the fact that Ethereum is like also pretty much at like 6-month lows. So like when Ethereum's down, like people could be trading around the same amount of Ethereum, but all of these trackers are priced in USDC. So you're gonna see that that pullback. But I think that's like something that overall like the market really didn't expect, or really have had to deal with since you know, May, and I guess a little bit in it was really bad in May, but a little bit in September, October, which is a really big crypto pullback since everything is priced in Ethereum. Because if you look at some of the Ethereum prices for things, like you got like Moonbirds at, you know, 24, that's not great, that's not bad. Bored Ape Yacht Club's at 100, you know what I mean? After all the airdrops that they've gotten, that's holding up at a really good price in Ethereum. It's the price in USDC that's, you know, really killing it. Pio and I were talking about before the show, and it was like, you know, what do you think about the Kodas? Like, we could have sold the Kodas for 100 grand at one point in time. Now they're selling for like 50, but like, you know, they've had a little bit of a pullback in ETH, but almost half of that is because of the pullback in ETH's price itself is like hurting everything in USDC terms. And yeah, everyone can be like, oh, you know, 1 ETH equals 1 ETH. Like, I don't care what his price in Yeah, you fucking do care what his price in USDC. Your net worth is priced in USDC. Wake up, buddy. If ETH went to $10, I don't think anyone's
Open your eyes. Open your eyes. You know? Sorry, I didn't mean.
I liked it. No, I liked it. I thought it was a good transition. I was ending right there. You teed it up.
I have to be in agreement with what Captain Kicks is saying here. By the way, I now like call him Captain Kicks literally outside of this show, and it's absolutely the most ridiculous thing ever.
With our investors, it's like, yeah, well, we were talking to Captain Kicks.
Captain
like, who
Kicks.
did I invest in?
Who is the captain? Who is
like
the captain of this ship?
It sounds like someone that, like, when you like go to like a tropical island, they like, you know, they take you out on the boat excursion, and they're like a good like captain, but also like you can just smell the alcohol coming off of them, and you're like a little concerned at the same time.
I feel like in the future of our own business, there's going to be a lot more boat excursions and a lot less NFT trading for a period of time here.
Could be. I mean, back when in early last year, when like Nifty Gateway crashed, and like I sold pretty much all my portfolio, and it was like early April, and I was like, oh man, like that was fun. Like, is NFTs ever going to come back? And like literally a month and a half later, I'm like aping into Bored Ape Yacht Club, aping into Sandbox Land, like doing all of that stuff. Which even means then, like, is that really like a bear market? Like, you think a bear market probably lasts like, you know, 3 months or more. Who knows? We may be heading into like NFT's first like proper bear market, sure, where we have like, you know, an extended run. I think it's just we got to such high levels of volume. Yeah. Just like mathematically, it was like hard to keep up to that spot. Everyone that's diamond handing is going to like hate me for saying this. I'm a trader, so it doesn't hate me as much, or it doesn't like hurt me as much. But like if we do, I literally made a tweet a couple of days ago, and I was like, if we flush down to like 30 million a day in volume and sit at that for a while, then that means if we get up to 100 million in a day, the market's 3x. You know, that's like an expansionary event, right?
Yeah.
Where you can get a lot of these good trading opportunities or investing opportunities. And some people got mad about that because they were like, well, like you're basically saying like you want my bags to retrace by like 50% to like set up the next bull run. But unfortunately, like that happens in the stock markets, that happens everywhere. So like on a long-term perspective, I'm still super bullish on NFTs. I think this is just a necessary flush out. There's just too many projects out there. A lot of these projects are still at like way too high valuations for what you're getting for them. And I think this probably sets us up for an opportunity where we get to get into good projects at really affordable prices, and we get to see a lot of innovation, because this market is going to force projects to have to innovate and do cool, new, interesting stuff to succeed in it. So like, I actually think it's like a net good thing. Like, it didn't make any sense that projects come out of the blue and it's like, because art good and because team like good, therefore like each of these 10,000 things they magically created and spent 2 months creating should be worth $100,000 each. Like, that's just nonsensical in any market, in any world. That's like tulip mania kind of, you know, status. So it makes sense that we're, you know, like needing a healthy flush out normalization, but because of that, it's going to create a ton of opportunities. So like, if you're here for the long haul, yeah, you may be in for some short-term pain, but you should be excited that this is going to kind of force the industry to level up.
Yeah. And one thing to add to that is you think about a lot of these NFT projects that are basically startups, and the foundation of the startup is just that there was an artist that made really good art that a lot of people connected with. And then you look at the market cap of that startup and you start to realize like, wait a minute, this thing might be overvalued. You know, like the chances of this, because when you think that there's like 10,000 of these things, like let's say there's a collection, there's 10,000 of them and the floor is 0.8 ETH. Well, do the math on that in Ethereum or in US dollar terms. And unless there's like some real substance like Kevin Rose, you know, Moonbirds, Yuga Labs funding, insert, you know, really notable project here. I mean, even like Gary V's thing, right? Although he's got a really high supply on a lot of stuff too, it starts to feel a little unrealistic. Nick, you were going to add something?
Well, yeah, I was going to say Pio's really, those arms just absolutely phenomenal, Pio.
Look at the vein. Look at the vein on both arms.
Look at the muscle.
The
really,
vein,
just
the vein
very
is really
impressive. Hey, for those of you listening on the podcast, right now Pio's wearing a Celtics jersey and his arms are fully exposed. It's borderline like he's naked right now. And so what we're seeing is just based on the angle that he was at, he found the right angle that really maximized the size of his arms, and just quite impressive. So we just had to observe that.
I would be surprised if he didn't do at least 20 push-ups before this to kind of really get the blood flowing.
That's a good idea.
If I'm wearing a Celtics jersey, I'm doing push-ups.
I fucked that up, actually. I'm going to start.
That's why I look like the Hunchback Notre Dame over here. I'm like crippled from a week of partying and late nights. I don't have a single vitamin left in my body. But yeah, so what you said, Pio, it's on point. Just quick math. If the floor price is on a 10,000 collection is $50,000 USD, that entire collection is being valued at $500 million. And 45, 60 days ago, there was a lot of projects like that. I mean, there was more than a handful. You know what I mean? That's a lot of money.
A number that I would be looking for here is if you could take the market cap of all these different, of the top 50 projects, call it 25 projects, and you look at the daily turnover required to sell all of those through once. That would be a number that I'm looking for in general. We saw an insane volume on NFTs over the past year, especially last year. And we saw an insane volume at the beginning of this year. But it's almost shocking the degree to which these prices have still not capitulated in a major way.
Because you only need like 6,000 other people just to be smoking the same crack you are to keep that price up.
I mean, to be fair, like the Bored Ape price has capitulated by 50%. But everyone was
from
airdropped a bunch of money.
Super absurdly high number to a more reasonably absurdly high number.
Yeah, it's still outrageous to be at $200,000 right now is what we're
like let's
looking
be
at.
real here. This is not like Elon Musk on the team. Like they've done a phenomenal job. They're backed by some really high quality investors. I mean, they're the best in the business for sure, hands down. Their collaboration with Improbable to do their metaverse other side play, probably literally the best company you could partner with. Like, so that like A16Z, the other people on the board, Anna Monica Brands, like those people are making it.
Anna Monica.
Anna Monica. Yeah, it's like Santa Monica without the A.
You are funny as hell, man, when it comes to proper nouns.
Yeah, it's like literally like a mental disorder. Like you've seen it enough. I'm not even doing it on purpose. It's just like literally like a switch.
But it's hilarious. So
right?
it's great.
And Anna I can't like when you tell me the right way to say it, my brain like I think it and then it like doesn't overwrite it. You know what I mean?
Do you know the right way of saying it?
Anna Mocha, right?
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Or Anna Monica, Anna Mocha. Cool.
It's Anna Mocha.
Anna Mocha brand.
Anna Mocha.
They, they're obviously being backed, but like, still, it's a year-old company. You know what I mean? It's a year-old company, and I don't know anything about the founders and what previous businesses they did, but it's everything is very, very, very new here. But I'm very excited because I think that there's going to be some cool projects coming out, and I think there's going to be some cool innovation coming out. There's buys in bear markets, you know what I mean? But no, I'm not going to buy just another profile pick project because it's a profile pick project. Like we have enough of those.
Except for OK Bears.
Jesus.
OK Bears is the only thing going up in this market, and it's literally requiring like 80% of crypto influencers to like shill the absolute piss out of it for it to like go up. Like literally, like Nate Rivers he has literally attached his reputation in like a symbiotic parasitic way to OK Bears in order to like pump this thing up. I'm sorry, the fundamentals on OK Bears, like I don't know the team. I don't think they're going to do incredible things over the next 6 months. I'm sure that the influencers are going to, make you think that and try to pump it to the moon.
That's a 4 ETH floor that you're looking at essentially, which is
fine, which is fine. But I don't think this thing's going to 20 ETH or 30 ETH. Maybe it does. Influencers can do incredible things on a short-term horizon. I personally love the OK Bears. I think it's the best profile pick project on Solana. Now that's not saying a lot. That just shows you what's been going on in Solana for the last year. But they are de facto the best. They should be priced at this level. But what I'm saying is it's like it's requiring a lot of community lift, let's say, to get to the prices that it's at. But and it also makes sense to me that that Solana is having a little bit of a run too. So I'm a big OK Bears fan, but like I think that we need to sit on our hands, be patient, look for opportunities. We are definitely very far removed from like August markets, January markets, where like you're mad because the project you bought only went up 2x. Like you're like pissed off. You're like, dude, I should have bought this other project because it 10x in a week.
I want to provide some perspective on the market, but first, this YouTube commentary that we've been getting is absolutely ludicrous. One person says Pio should quit NFTs and become a male stripper. We had someone named Coach K say shirts off, boys. And literally, like, this is the most ridiculous. The amount of comments about taking off shirts is quite significant. I don't know why today I'm particularly distracted by this, but the volume of comments around removing shirts is hilarious. And there's some people that are just like, Pio, show us your pump. Take that shirt off. What is going on? I have no idea. The comments have fully devolved. No one's even talking about NFTs anymore. They're literally just talking about the workout in your arms.
This is bear market things.
This is as good as it gets.
But Michael Fair said should definitely open your horizon and look for opportunities in Solana. We aren't going through a bear market whatsoever. I would knock on wood on that one, Michael. That's the kind of, once you start really believing that, that's when you're gonna get wrecked. But yeah, Solana's doing great right now. There's a lot of opportunities to make money. It makes sense to me that more traders would go to Solana anyways, just because of the gas fees and just the speed of the network. So I wouldn't be surprised for Solana to do quite well in the bear market. Also, this guy named Stockpick says the team that raised $1 million and hasn't spent a penny. We actually raised over $3 million. So check your facts there, buddy. And we're definitely spending pennies over here.
They're calling us out.
We're spending pennies. Yes, it's stock picks. You know, I'm sure his bags are down 99% on Robinhood, so we shouldn't target this guy.
Yeah, people have been like, I can tell people are mad about their bags and stuff. I just hired Micah G, Node, and Benjamin in the past 72 hours. So those guys cost money. Like, hiring them doesn't mean that they're free. I don't know what to tell you. We have 2 full-time employees. We just hired a designer.
I think he's mad because when you bought OK Bears, you got airdropped a free wristband. So maybe people are a little disappointed that we're not doing stuff like that.
Look at some of these comments.
If you stay here long enough, what you'll realize is most of the juggling act that you've seen from most projects is literally just that. Eventually, the balls are going to fall. But in our case, our audience just grows. So that's the focus on that. And then if price go up, which is the #1 utility, we can't promise. Like we said in the terms when you minted this project, you bought a piece of art and nothing else. So you can't anticipate anything moving forward. But
real quick,
I can't get to even talk about my NFT analysis here. But
can
please
you pull this up,
Pio?
Because all of these, like, Solana, people are like, yeah, come over to Solana, see where the real money is to be made. Look at these lizards that have 44 soul. Can you pull that up on the screen? Like, this is what's going on in Solana. This is what they're proud of.
You want to make that
this
the main
is what
screen,
they're proud of. They're proud of this. They're bragging about this. They're like, come over to Solana, see where the real boys are trading. See where the real action's at.
Yo, that should look dope.
I mean, the art isn't bad, but so my question is,
it's
like,
not as good as the Bears. The OK Bears is like really well done.
Well, I said to Kix that the OK Bears is totally based on the Bored Apes. It's totally based on Bored Apes.
Well, no, it's just the style of Bored Apes, basically.
Well, actually, this art style makes more sense for the Solana demo, which is like 17 years old. Yeah, I can get it. It's a little bit more like kind of like streetwear. So maybe I'm just getting too old for this.
And Bored Apes.
But I could definitely see like people rocking this as their profile pics. You know what I mean? Like, totally. Like, what's up, lizards? Let's go, lizard army.
Weren't Bored Apes like inspired by punks, but like the in terms of the attributes that they used?
Yeah, everyone's inspired by everybody. That's just how the world works.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Are we going to just become Solana people? Because, like, I don't get it. Like, why? Let's just think about it. Why would there be a rotation to Solana? Because of the cheap prices, because of the low gas fees, and because it's a largely undiscovered market in many ways. And like all of us would just suddenly move over to Solana. Is that the idea? Like, a lot of ETH liquidity would make its way over, and that would just give Solana a big boost. And we're so early on Solana that there just isn't as much liquidity as there would be if even 20% of ETH people started regularly participating.
It's just market expansion. I think the reality is I don't know. You don't need ETH people to go there. People are always looking for different opportunities. And ultimately, after you saw a lot of people in the NFT space make a bunch of money, there's a lot of people that are interested in participating. And if you can participate for a low price, then that's something that you want. The handyman in this building happened to be here the other day and saw the picture of Bored Ape. And he was like, how much is that worth? And I was like, easily $50. And but we were discussing. He was like, "Yo, how do I get in on this? What do I got to do?" And I'm like, I don't even
where to even begin.
I don't know what to say. Like, he's not going to be paying thousands of dollars on gas, so he can't operate on Ethereum. And to me, it seems like on Solana, when you can play for $100, then like why not operate on there?
Yeah, and I think what Pio said, is accurate, which is like, why are people moving to Solana? Because if, nothing's going on in Ethereum and you hear some things are going on Solana and there's market expansion there, then there's like more buyers than sellers because the market's actually growing, whereas ETH is stagnant. That can create like a small bull run in and of itself. But
and people actually like really get inspired about their profile picture.
If I wore this, like I would really, this was my profile pic, I would be proud of myself and I would be like, I'd be like wanting to be a part of this. I'd be in the Discord every day. Like, what's up, lizards? Like, what are we up to today?
On my Instagram, I looked back at it. May last year, I had framed a picture of my Bored Ape. It wasn't worth that much at that point in time. And I remember having a picture with it because I wanted it on my wall because I loved it that much. And I look at that and I think other people are able to have a similar experience. I really wanted to have something like that. And there's a lot of people that want something like that. Is this it? No, definitely. I don't think that this is, okay, maybe it is. But the OK Bears stand out for me. But whatever your style is that you like, people want to have that thing and they want to have hope, as Obama said.
And Michael Fair said, this is what we all are in this space, making opportunities. Love listening to you guys. Just to want you guys sitting on your bags while ETH is, just filled with blue chips. You're right, Michael. There's more action going on in Solana. And we've definitely talked about it on the show. Easy's a big Solana trader. And we've talked about that, there may be a lot of opportunities this year on the Solana side. So we're just giving you a hard time. We're not shitting on Solana per se, but
I'm saying positive things about Solana here. I'm saying that, look,
the nice thing for Solana too is that crypto influencers, they're running out of options on how to pump and dump on their loyal listeners. Solana is great to pump and dump on because there's no gas. It's really cheap. You know what I mean? So you can really dump your bags on people who believe in you.
Real quick, Andrew Whitaker says, what about a carpet of that ape, Nick? I can make it happen. Andrew, shoot me a DM on Twitter. I'm interested in that. Maybe we can hang that on the wall for noise cancellation purposes. So I'm very interested.
Wappy said it well. If you want to take cheap risks, you do it on Solana. It's much easier to stomach taking risk on some stuff. That's very true, right? Like we're used to if you want to get in a halfway decent project on Ethereum, right? A halfway decent project's trading close to 1 ETH. That's like $3,000. You can probably get
this one's a banger.
Yeah, you could have minted one of these guys for $69 or something probably.
It's fantasy football or not fantasy football. It's what is the sports gambling basically, where you can go bet $50 on FanDuel. That's exactly what this is with Solana. With Ethereum, the stakes are way too high, and people that are buying in at ridiculous prices, it's just hard for those things to sustain. That's why I sold that pop thing yesterday for a gain. Unfortunately, I didn't sell it at the peak. Very frustrated about that. But the bottom line is, it's hard for these things to support. For you to look right now in a bear market at something and be like, yeah, that's worth $6,000. Or if you have more money, that's worth $50,000. It's really difficult to look at something and be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I kind of wish that I had priced stuff at the top in US dollars a little more, because it probably would have given me a little bit more clarity. Like when the mutants were like $120,000 or whatever, you can kind of think like, do I think that this will be 120,000 US dollars forever? Like, do I think that there's no situation where this won't be $70,000 or something like that? By the way, shout out to the Lizard Squad. The art on this lizard is pretty savage. Are we on Solana? Are we still in the phase where good art is just going to make a project pump hard? Is that like where we're at with Solana?
No, I think good art there is bearish. They have their own style. But yeah, I mean that once again, OK Bears was as I said, was a higher quality project on there. I think we'll probably see more and more of that. The delay in getting more projects over there may be that, you have to, you can't code in Solidity, you have to code in Rust, and that it just may take some time to build up the amount of developers over there that can launch projects. Someone in our chat said, "Oh, am I invisible? You don't read my stuff?" And I was like, "Okay, this guy probably said some stupid stuff," but he actually said something really cool, which is one of the OG projects on Solana that is actually good art. And I wanted one back in the day before they really pumped. Is Boryoku Dragonz. They're actually doing a 10,000 collection on Ethereum called Akumu Dragonz.
No way.
And the mint is at the end of the month. So shout out to whoever said that. Crypto Rules dropping some cool alpha in the chat. Appreciate you, Crypto Rules.
What do you all think about CPG Pop right here?
Buying it? Yeah. I think that I should have bought it
No, you shouldn't have, because it was 2.5 to mint, and then it went up to 3.8. I sold it at 3. It's down to 2. And I'm wondering, now that the reveal has happened, we see the post-reveal drop. My biggest issue is, man, this is an expensive market at this point in time still, and I do not trust that this market is sustainable. We're looking at liquidity drop. Yeah. And so,
and Nick, when you open up the newspaper, I read online, but I know that you're older, so you probably still read a newspaper. But I saw in the newspaper today that India is freezing all of their wheat exports.
Oh, that's good. That's not going to lead to any problems.
So when you see that stuff in the market, you're kind of like, I'm gonna sit on some cash. I'll eat that 10% inflation. I'm cool with that.
GUSD, baby.
Yeah, get that GUSD going, man.
Get that lower level Luna Ponzi. It's not full Luna Ponzi, a little lower level.
It's Grandpa USD, man.
Yeah, you're only getting 6% APY. That's not
Who
at
needs
Ponzi
that?
level.
Yeah, that's nothing. So here's the volume chart on CPG. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It's going to slowly go down with the market.
Towards zero, not? You're saying? You think it goes towards 0?
I think it goes towards 0.6, right? Unless, look, it's hard to say anything's going to go up right now. It's a weird time. If we have a gnarly financial year, we could see some low lows, could we not? I mean,
yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I'm even looking at some of my bags and wondering, what the hell, dude? What in the absolute hell? Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of exposure to the NFT space still at this point. It was a lot more when Bored Apes were worth twice as much and the Floor of Mutants were worth twice as much as well. I mean, I have about 80 ETH that disappeared at 3,000. So
just imagine when ETH's at 1,200.
Oh, man. Wait till it's 800. So that's going to be
till it's 0.
That's going to be real nice. Macy hoodies resell for 600. Is that true?
Oh shit! Probably the OG collection, because the OG collection of hoodies is actually good.
I have a brand new one.
So
my working thesis. I
was going to give it away to the community, but fuck that.
Sorry, real quick. Someone just said, not meaning this in an offensive way, but y'all look like the stages of growing a beard.
I've never been able to grow a beard, but I look like 8 years younger if I don't have some facial hair. I also was in Texas for a week. I didn't shave once, but you'll see me trim up a little bit here. You'll see me trim up in a second. But what was I going to say? Yeah, I forgot it.
My bad. No, you were talking about.
I'll remember.
You're talking about the state of the financial markets and Bored Apes.
Bored Apes, the merch. My thesis is that the absolute bottom, the generational bottom on NFTs is when you can find BAYC merch and MYC merch at Goodwill. Then all in. We've seen capitulation when people are having to give those away. They can't sell them for anything. Nick looks really serious right now. Is he on eBay?
I know what he's doing. He's
on eBay.
Nick's gears are turning. Yeah, his gears are turning.
And then I'm wondering where my other Bored Ape merch is, because I got a lot of it coming my way, and I'm just like, yes.
If you sell merch for $600, that will really show that
I sold a hat for $400.
Holy shit. So this hat I'm wearing is worth hundreds of dollars?
No, you got a late stage one. I had a Bored Ape one that I sold.
Yeah. The thing is that these hats, the old ones, are way better than the last drop she did. The last drop she did sucked. They did. Yeah.
Blunt Op said, where do you think the liquidity from Luna is going to go? Solana makes so much more sense. Low risk. Why not?
The liquidity? Sorry, it disappeared.
Yeah, there is no.
It's gone. So
it went away.
It went to 0.
Yeah. They can't move the $0.
Did you see? There was a tweet though that was quite interesting, which was basically saying if a Luna paid the lowest 95% of holders, then they would be able to repay 100% of the money back to the holdings. Basically, is where they were at.
But they never do that.
That was 3 days ago. Now I think it's gone down even lower, and they basically, at this point, they keep digging a hole even further. So it appears like there's no hope for it at this point. but it's interesting to see. And there was a comparable thing. Apparently, the Bernie Madoff fund, so there was still 75% of the capital remaining, and actually something like 90% of the lower holders got 100% of their money back.
Wow. So wow, only 10% of Bernie's
the richest people, basically, they were like, the way that the courts did it was the richest people were not reimbursed. And I mean,
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, like 95% of people. I mean, that's an incredible situation if you're able to recoup that capital. But instead, there's no way that that's going to happen in this case, especially.
They probably could have recouped a lot more if they didn't just throw Bitcoin into the fire trying to restore the peg. But easier said than done, right? When you look back, it seems so obvious at the time. Probably not. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I still got some NFTs. I'm sitting on a fatty stack. Is it down bad? Yeah, buddy, it's down bad. Am I buying anything new right now? No, I'm waiting for something interesting. I'm only going to buy something interesting in a bear market.
I'm still interested in pruning my bags, and
there's spring cleaning, as they say there, buddy.
I'm still open to doing a little more of that. I'm debating what makes sense, though. The problem is like a lot of the items that I have. Here's a hot tip. The currency, since I bought it the other day and bought my painting at 3.5 ETH, it's now 4.2 ETH, and it continues to go up as this burning is happening. I think it's going to go even higher. I would not be surprised to see. Well, frankly, the NFT should probably have a floor of at least 10 grand. I saw the currency selling on Artsy for like almost $15,000. And I just think that there is a major opportunity on that front.
It's fine art. There's worse things to be buying right now than fine art.
Fine art is a very interesting space, and anything that has kind of historical consequence. I also think, in the situation of historical context and historical relevance, we're probably going to look back on this state and think about one company. And that comes to mind as it applies to that, and that's FTX. So when I think about, their relevance within this moment in time, and do I want their logo hanging on my wall? Damn right. We should actually reach out to FTX to find out how many different ways we can get that shit printed. I want an art version of FTX on my wall. Like, that makes a ton of sense. We should figure that out so that we can actually have an FTX logo created on there. Check out that URL. What's on the screen right now, by the way? Like whatever
like FTX, man.
And here's the thing. Let me tell you something about FTX, okay? And this is not allowed in the United States. But if you're a listener outside of the United States, you can actually short things on FTX. So FTX, unlike a lot of other things that only work in a bull market, FTX works in a bull or a bear market. A lot of people lost a lot of money on Luna, but guess what? Some people made a lot of money on Luna shorting it on FTX. So get your game up, level up your game, get over to FTX, start playing both sides, start playing a little offense and a little defense. Maybe throw some special teams in there as well. Really get going on FTX. Best sponsor in the business, best place to buy, sell, short, long, margin, whatever you're doing outside of the United States, you only can buy it in the United States because regulations prevent us from making more money in the United States.
Yo, get on that FTX.
thenifty.com/FTX or the code TheNifty.
The FTX.
FTX's
yeah, you trade on that FTX
app. You got to
you trade that FTX,
man.
Hey, complete tangent from this is actually, I don't want to bring it up right after the sponsorship.
What? About
SBF basically articulating the way that Bitcoin and crypto and like describing it as a Ponzi scheme. The CoffeeZilla really hooked on to something that he said, and it didn't sound great. What he was
CoffeeZilla, dude.
What he was talking about was with yield farming, not with Bitcoin itself, but basically how like yield farming, essentially you make up a token and then you yield more of it, and people suddenly think it's worth billions of dollars. And anyways, it was an interesting thing that he was describing, and it was probably poorly worded by SBF. But look, go long. That's what they're saying. You want to go long.
We got to go long, man. Nick came up with that on the morning show this morning. What a fun show that was. So look, we don't know how long this downturn is going to last. We don't know if there will be a permanent repricing of NFTs, but I have to think that, the proper blue chips, aka Bored Ape Yacht Club, aka, a Damien Hirst art piece, will probably do well. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen? Anything that you all are thinking about?
I'm thinking that we need to do a merch giveaway with FTX, where rather than NFTs, we can maybe collab on some merch, make some jerseys, make some hoodies, make some other things, and just do a branded merch drop. Like, why not do something like that with?
Let's go.
Let's go. That may be some interesting stuff to do there. And if someone gets a tattoo with FTX, on their body somewhere, on their forehead, then they'll definitely get some money. Satoshi Milk keeps saying Nick get an FTX tattoo. I don't get. Look,
he's not a tattoo kind of guy.
I'm not a tattoo person. This body is
it's a temple.
This Adonis-like body is not designed for tattoos. That's all.
But closing thoughts, Pio. If we're going into a bear market, that means there's going to be a lot of. If we're going to go into an extended bear market, we're already in one. There's going to be a lot of opportunities, but there's going to be a lot of time to find the good opportunities. You got to be patient. You got to look for the opportunities you really want to get in. And when you get in those opportunities, you also have to be patient again. A lot of people in the NFT space have become accustomed to getting 2, 3, 5, 10x gains in like under a month. That's not like a normal thing. That's probably like Pio, if you remember on Nifty Gateway, if you bought the bottom on Xcopy, it's not like 2 weeks later at like 5x. It took like 3 or 4 months to get like a 5 or a 10x. You're going to have to be patient. So figure out a hobby, or this is the perfect time. If you really truly are passionate about NFTs in Web3, this is the time to like learn and build up a skill set and try things and join a project. Like bear markets are great for building. They're great for buying, but you just have to be patient on the buys. You have to be smart and calculated on the buys, and you have to be patient on the upside to come. Pedro Ortiz said, this was the hobby. I totally feel that. I'm 100% with you. If but this is the reality. You know what I'm saying?
We got a question on Twitter about this. You were talking about learning, and they asked what coding language to learn. Everyone always asks which language. Here's the deal. The language doesn't matter. You got to come up with a project that you want to go build.
Yeah, I only know how to code in English.
So you want to build an NFT, then you're going to want to go and maybe learn Solana, or you're going to want to go and learn Rust on Solana. You're going to want to learn Solidity on Ethereum. You're going to you just go through tutorials and you work through it and don't make money from it. Like there's no
you have to be like actually good at it, and people would have to like trust you to actually like deploy a project. There's way more than just like, you don't have to be a programmer to succeed in Web3 or NFTs. I'm not a programmer. I'm not an artist. I found success. There's plenty of opportunities out there. And you know what I mean? Like you don't just have to be a programmer to succeed.
But you want to be a programmer. So just here's the deal. If you want to succeed in this world, you're going to want to learn how to code, and then you can outshine most of the people that are on this show other than me.
It's true.
And so
if you want to make $200K plus a year and only have to work 2 hours a day,
learn how to code. And that's definitely the way to go. Someone said, this is my first time checking out the show. Love it. And then followed by Nick doing Nigerian accent. Excuse me?
I don't believe that it's his first time seeing the show.
That's like a really deep level of detail. Like we know you. We see you.
So anyways,
Satoshi Milk said code or marketing. NFT projects mostly succeed from marketing. Very good point. Marketing is probably a very undervalued
No one likes
skill.
a marketer though. No one likes a marketer.
Me, man. That's why you don't like me, baby.
No, okay,
you're a marketer.
You're not just a marketer.
I market. That's literally been my career for 10 plus years.
You're not a marketer.
I'm a growth hacker, bro.
Let me just say, after creating you're a content creator as well. And so you deliver content and you didn't realize necessarily that genius existed within you. But here we are elevating that genius of
Content
Captain
creation
Kicks.
is marketing, Nick.
We're responsible for your success, Kicks.
It's
Nick,
different.
you're a marketer.
It's different.
You're a marketer.
Yeah, the only thing we're marketing is ourselves. When you get paid to go market for someone else, a paid marketing job is the worst job ever. Because they're gonna tell you how to do the creative. They're gonna tell you all these different things. It's the worst job you can have. Trust me, go learn how to code. They're gonna try and tell you how to build it, but they don't know how. So the reality is that then they're actually struggling and they're dependent on you. So I would just say learn how to code or go start a business. And Captain Kicks is a CEO and running a actual game studio and game platform. So that's a little bit different than just a marketer, but you can chalk yourself down and write yourself off as just a marketer. I know you did paid marketing for a little bit to pay the bills.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And look, you got to pay the bills. You got to do that, especially in a bear market. Especially in a bear market. So if you're looking to buy NFTs, look, here's the deal. Check out the Nifty portal. Grab one of those. Great bear market purchase. It's a great bear market purchase, not financial advice. Can't guarantee you that the price is going to go up. Like I said, all you're buying is art, but maybe you end up getting something for it. Who knows? We've made a lot of bold promises. So far, we haven't delivered.
Move over to Solana. Swing around with the Solana boys. There's some action happening there. If you still want to get that trading juice, if you want to still feel those adrenaline rushes, at least some things are going up over there. Go hang out over there a little bit. Get a little trading in. I might swing around a little bit. I'm just still salty.
Hey, Mocha Cash asking a lot of questions that he knows the answer to. So I can't believe Pio just answered the question.
I didn't. It was Kicks.
Captain Kicks responded?
No, I did.
You're the only one that can respond. So it's Tuzu Zim. Shout out to all my Jews out there. So anyways, let's wrap this up. I tweeted
you want to hit
the
us
other
with
day.
The outro music?
It was a pretty niche thing. Well, now I got to switch the here. Let's see if this works. Is that working? You remember to smash that subscribe, lick that like, and if you're on podcast, subscribe to that shit, yo. What are you doing?
And OpenSea's down.
Yeah, I've been having issues with it. Talk about a bear market signal. It's down on low volume.
That's not good.
We got that echo.
Not a bullish sound. Bullish indicator.
Lick the like.
Yo, keep it real.